Top of the morning, guys. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing complete check over the vehicle. We're also going to be doing an oil change. I noticed when I was closing the trunk, the trunk felt heavy, and my silver third gen did not feel heavy closing it. So I found some sound deadening material, so I'm just taking that off, guys. Yo, you know what I just thought about? Actually, I'm going to keep it here, because what if I ended up getting subwoofers also, because it's already wired up. All I need to do is plug it in. So you know what, I'm gonna keep it on. All right, guys, one of my main rules for getting a used vehicle is that make sure everything is good and do a whole entire check over, guys. That is one of my rules, guys. So first and foremost, I see that the parking brake is it's very loose, guys. So we're going to be adjusting the parking brake today. And also, when you turn on your lights, my light down there doesn't work. I'm going to show you guys how to replace that bulb. A1, 2, and 5, the services are due. So A is pretty much an oil change, 1 is a tire rotation, 2 is your air filter and cabin filter, and number 5 is coolant. So those are actually due for service. Okay, all right, our oil life is now at 100%. I have some bulbs I got from LED bulbs I got from Amazon, and I think these are T5 bulbs. I'll put a link down below, guys. It's these little tiny little bulbs. You got me a pick, and it should just pop out. There we go. What you want to do is grab the socket where the 2 wires are. You have to untwist it. There we go. It's just like installing a headlight bulb, guys. Take out the old bulb and get your new LED bulb, which is way nicer than the halogen. Okay, if it doesn't work, guys, take it out, flip it, and waste too much time on the light, guys. I can't get it to work. I'm not sure why. Maybe the wire's broken or something, but let's go ahead and adjust the parking brake. So how I adjust them is I do 1, 2, 3 clicks up, and to adjust them you have to remove this little portion right here. Now we'll remove this cover. Oh, there it is. There's a adjustment screw nut right in here. So I have a 12 millimeter socket. There you go. And all I'm going to do is tighten it. By the way, guys, I'm using this gear wrench that's got a flex head on it. So 2, 3, it still goes all the way. It's too easy, guys. It's too easy. So 1, 2, 3. It should be right when you get to like 8 clicks. It should be getting really hard at the when you get to 8 clicks, guys. So just keep tight it until you get to 8 clicks. All right, so I tighten up the parking brake. Much better, guys. By like the 8th click is super tight. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, about 10. About 10 is pretty tight. So I'm gonna adjust it a little bit more, but that is how you adjust it, guys. Actually, I had to get a extension because whenever I would turn, the nut would turn, but then when I go back, the nut would turn back. So I had to get extensions so I can prevent the nut from turning back while I hold the extension. Before I put this back, I'm gonna take it and wash it with soap and water because it is gross. That looks so much better, guys. Next up, I'm actually going to remove or unplug the Bluetooth module, because when I started the car this morning, I had to jump it. Looks like they already had the Bluetooth module disconnected, so I wonder why the battery's dead. Maybe it just needs a new battery. The purpose of this video, pretty much just to make sure the car is safe to be on the road before we go out and driving spiritedly. I don't want to spend too much time on the interior. Let's go ahead and knock the oil change out. And I did talk with the previous owner. He did replace the transmission fluid about a year ago, so that's still good. Raise the car up and drain the oil. Also be showing you guys how to check your ball joints, your tie rods, and make sure they're still good. See right there, it says engine oil. No oil in my hands, guys. All right, I'll loosen up the oil filter. While that's draining, I'm going to show you guys how I check the tie rod and ball joint. Straighten the wheel. To check for ball joint play, I'm going to grab the top of the tire, bottom of the tire, and I'm going to push and pull, guys. Okay, that feels pretty solid. If you feel any play up top, it's a upward control arm, and if you feel any play on the bottom, it's the bottom control arm. Now we're gonna check side to side play. We're gonna check for tie rod in play. Tie rod's pretty good. This side is pretty solid, guys. Also, another thing I like to do is, just to be sure, I'll grab a pry bar. Put the pry bar in between the knuckle and the lower control arm, and I'm gonna check for play. All right, there's no play. So I grab the tie rod, I'm trying to push up and down, and I feel no play, guys. That ball joint, this whole section is good. And also, let's check this bushing right here. There's a compliance bushing that usually goes bad. Bushing is pretty good, guys. All right, time to check this side. Okay, tie rod play is pretty good. Ball joint play is pretty good. Arm bushings, control arm bushing is pretty good. Pretty happy with. Okay, ball joint is good, guys. All right, so we have a slight situation here. As you can see, the washer is completely flattened out, and it won't come out. This is my little trick that I use. Get a pair of snippers, and I start cutting into it. Just all around. And that what that actually does is it expands the washer. So there you go. Finally made it. It should be able to screw out now. There we go. Oh, okay. That's my little trick. Here I have my new washer. Brand new washer from Honda. And I also have a brand new Honda oil filter. Whenever you gotta open a brand new Honda oil filter, don't ever poke down at this to open the bag, because what happens is if you poke at this, a piece of this plastic may drop into the hole, and when you put your oil filter in, that plastic is gonna cause the oil not to flow, and it could cause your engine to starve of oil. So that's really bad. So always tear from the top. Make sure the old gasket is gone, and I see no gasket, because you don't ever want to double gasket it. As I'm looking under the car, I did see that it's missing some clips here, and right here. I actually have a few right here on my hand. Looks like they used a zip tie for this one, so I'm actually gonna cut that zip tie out. Drain plug is tight, and the oil filter is tight. Back on. Check the fluids, the power steering fluid, the brake fluid, the clutch fluid, the transmission fluid is already done a year ago, so we're not going to worry about that. So power steering fluid, they seem to get super dark. And what I like to do is I like to shine my light through it, and if my light doesn't shine through the fluid and it's really dark, that means the fluid is dirty. In this case, this fluid is glowing and the light is shining through. This fluid is clean. And also the power steering pump has been replaced. I do need a front engine mount. It looks like it has a new slave cylinder and possibly even a master cylinder or clutch master cylinder. Let's go ahead and look at the brake fluid. Light is shining right through it, guys. Looks pretty clean to me. Fluid level's good, guys. Clutch fluid is good. Now that our fluid checked out good, so we'll need some valve cover gaskets and the spark plug tube seals. Now, these are the things that I like to check, guys, because you know you can catch these things when they start to go bad. And what people tend to do, if you don't catch it going bad, it'll start leaking on the exhaust manifold, just like what we have here. The timing belt, you can see the water pump, guys. The camera can see it. It is really hard to see, but the water pump looks new. It's a shinier aluminum than the rest of the motor, so under the motor looks really healthy. You just need some minor things like valve cover gaskets and engine mounts. But for now, let's adjust the coilovers because the car is too low that it's scratching the exhaust, guys. So I don't want any troubles in the future, and I don't want to blow my oil pan, so I'm gonna raise the car up just a little bit more. I am gonna go 3.7 manifold, 3.7 throttle body, and PCDs. So stay tuned for that. That's why I'm not even bothering with the air filter. So I went to go get the wheel lock key, and I noticed that the trunk button didn't work over there, the trunk release button, and I found a switch to have this broken inside. So what I did was I took a small pin and I actually just bypassed the switch, and the trunk switch actually works now. Just all that switch does is it's pretty much like a light switch, guys. It disconnects the circuit, and then when you press on, it connects the circuit. And check this out. See, the trunk is closed, and I press and it actually works. There you go. I was talking to the owner, the last owner, and he said that that switch has never worked on him. That's the problem, guys. Another issue fixed. But for now, guys, I just put electrical tape over it. That way it doesn't short or anything until I find a new switch. Let's also check the cabin filter. Let's see how nasty the cabin filter is, guys. Oh, yeah, this is gross. So bad. So, you know what we're gonna do for now? Until we get a new one, guys. Let's put the cabin filter back for now until we get a new one. I'm glad that the trunk is working. Makes me feel super good. Panel that was broken, I actually put some epoxy on them, and they're dried up, so everything's ready to go back on. Actually, but the rearview mirror, it's so wiggly. It was actually taped on to make it I don't know, guys, but we're actually gonna fix this. So to remove it it slides out just like that. So I'm thinking I'm gonna bend some tabs to fix it. So let's try and see. So I'm removing the mount. So this is the piece that holds on to the base, and I think, well, first and foremost, this nut was loose and this was kind of shaking. And number two is, I think these jaws kind of opened up, so I'm gonna bend them in some. Oh shit, okay, that wasn't good. I broke the bear, well, the mount at least. And then roast me in the comments, man.
The next day.
All right, guys, back again. We're gonna finally put the new clip on that finally came in. Same part number as before. Thank you, Acura. So no more dangling mirror. So guys, the new clip I put it on there, and it still didn't fix it. It was still wobbly. So I took my vise out under my toolbox, and I squeezed it, and I put it back on, and it's gotten a little tighter, and I took it back out, squeezed it one more time, and it is, man, that thing is solid. So love with that. So I also figured out why this light wasn't working, which is working now. It was disconnected down here, guys. The last thing we got to do is check the adjust the ride height, and I've already checked the rear suspension. Rear suspension is actually pretty good, and tires are good all around. Brakes are brand new, guys, front and rear. So we are almost good to go, guys. Can't wait to drive it. So now let's just go ahead and take the wheels off real quick. All right, guys, the tire is off. Guess what I found? I found a nail in the tire, guys. So, and also looks like, because it looks like this thing is ready for a tire rotation, guys. So 8:30 seconds, 6:30 seconds. So, and I don't like going super low, because look at the tread, man. It's bald on the inside, and the outside is still good. I ain't about that life, man. I mean, I like a little bit of low, but this right here, nah, I don't like that. Suspension is all adjusted. I just know how to plug my tire and put the wheels back on, and we're done. All right, let me plug this tire, and I'm gonna show you how I do it. You definitely hear the air leaking. Plug repair kit made by Blackjack. Me. And then cut off the excess. That's it, guys. That's how you plug a tire. Then put some air in the tires. I'm gonna end the video here, man. Thank you guys for watching. As you see, guys, it's so important to check up your car over. I mean, come on, I found a tire that had a nail in it, and I needed to rotate my tires and all this other stuff, guys. Needed an oil change. So guys, thank you guys for watching, man. Make sure you hit that like button, man, and subscribe if you haven't. I'll see y'all later.